So this week has been brilliant because I have had visitors here. I would say like the first start of the wave of summer visitors. So actually two of my best friends, Simon and Caroline, came to visit me. I went to university with Simon, and then I lived with Caroline, his girlfriend, for like 3 years in London, and then they got married and I was a bridesmaid, and we're really, really close. And basically they said they wanted to come and visit me, and also it's their first time that they've ever been to Israel. So it was really great having people here and sort of showing them around. And so they arrived on a Friday night, and we just had like a local dinner, whatever. And then Saturday we went to Masada and we climbed the snake path. Now I've done this twice before, once on tour when I was 16 and once like 8 or 9 years ago when I came with some friends. And I was like, yeah, it's hard, but like you can do it. And oh my God, it was so hard. And I was like, I don't understand. I've been like running. Why can't I do this? But actually we climbed at about midday because we went a bit the wrong way, and we were supposed to get there like 10:30, 11, and we took a wrong turning and ended up, instead of going like all the way around from Tel Aviv to Masada that way, we kind of went this way through Jerusalem, and then we ended up going through the West Bank. Like there's like a little bit between like Jerusalem and where you get to the Dead Sea. And actually I didn't know that we were going to kind of go that way. I kind of thought on the way back we might, but we weren't really prepared. And then suddenly everything kind of changed, and then we were stuck in this massive queue, and it turns out there was like a spontaneous checkpoint. There was just like 2 soldiers at the side of the road like checking all the cars, and Simon and Caroline are like, oh okay, cool, this is interesting. And I'm like sitting in the back thinking, oh my God, are we supposed to be here? Is this okay? And like looking around, like trying to see what other cars were driving through, but luckily it was fine. Like I saw lots of like yellow number plate cars, so that's how you know they're the Israeli cars. And yeah, anyway, so that was all very exciting and dramatic. We finally got through the checkpoint. Obviously they were like, yes, go through, clearly tourists in your hire car. Anyway, so we climbed Masada, climbed up the snake path, such hard work. And then really enjoyed the top, and then we went to the Dead Sea and we all did the mud, and it was great. And then we went to Jerusalem overnight, and we stayed in this hostel that I had stayed in like 8 years ago. And wow, I mean, it's in the Armenian Quarter, and you know, you walk in and it's like all the amazing Jerusalem stone and everything, and then you go upstairs to the room, and it was awful. I was like, I either they've not done anything to do anything to this room in 8 or 9 years, or my standards were really different 8 or 9 years ago, and I think it was probably the latter. I was like, oh my God, guys, I'm really sorry. No, you know, it was fine. We weren't really spending much time in the room, and it was really cool to be staying inside the old city. And you know, it's such an amazing sight. So like, just Jerusalem is amazing. You like the big walls, and you walk through and just feel like you're in history. And actually we ended up walking through the Jewish quarter to get to the Armenian quarter, and we came across, like, I don't know if it was just Havdalah, like the end of Shabbat, or a specific like celebration, but there was like this sort of sunken square, like foyer. It's actually in like the main Roman Cardo original road, and there were like, I don't know, 500 like religious Jewish men just dancing and singing, and it was just like amazing. And actually Simon took a video which I'm going to show you so you can understand. Like, it was like so uplifting, it was like tribal. It was amazing. Here's the video. Anyway, so I was like, welcome to Jerusalem, guys. So anyway, that was great. And then the next day we had like a real like holy day. Simon and Caroline wanted to go up to the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount to sort of see what was up there. And I was like, yeah, you know, I've done that before, like I'll come with. So we like queued for like an hour, because you can only go up at certain times. So if you're going to do this, like get there at the time the queue opens. Queued for an hour, and then as we were getting there, we were reading everything in the Lonely Planet, and Caroline was like, so it says that like Jews are not really permitted to go up there in case you like tread on something holy, because that's where the temple used to be and they don't really know where everything was. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then as we got nearer to the front, there's like a sign above the door where Simon's like, oh Louise, look, there's a sign, and it's like the chief rabbi of Israel says Jews are not permitted to go up here because it's sacred ground. I was like, oh no. I was like, I've already done it, but I didn't know. And then they were like, well, you've already done it, you can do it again. I was like, no, now that I know I'm not supposed to go, I don't think I should. And I was like, Caroline, you're vegetarian. It's like, imagine you were eating crisps and you thought they were vegetarian and then you found out they were meat, and then what, you're going to carry on eating them? No. Anyway, so I went down and sat by the wall and waited for them, and actually it was really nice. Like, I, had some wall time and said some prayers, and then just sat and like watched everyone, like from the really religious people to like the tourists taking selfies. It was really quite fun, actually. Anyway, so then they came down, and then we went to the Via Dolorosa because Simon and Caroline are actually both Christian, and they, their main, draw for Jerusalem was everything to do with Jesus. And so we went to the start of the Via Dolorosa, and we sort of did the stations of the cross, and I learned a lot, and it was a real different side to Jerusalem for me, sort of like being part of their history and their like religious beliefs and everything, and kind of really understanding the other side of Jerusalem from the Christian perspective. And there were loads and loads of like pilgrimages, and like we actually saw there were like 150 people, and they had a sign saying they were from Nigeria, and they were all dressed in matching bright green, like traditional like Nigerian dress, and they were all doing the Stations of the Cross pilgrimage, and we were like, let's let them go by. There was literally at least 120, it was crazy, and then loads of different groups of pilgrims. And actually we sat on a step at one point and just watching everyone going by was so interesting. And we went to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, nobody really knows how to say that, and it was just chaos in there and so crowded and so busy, but like, it was great to like, I'd also been there before when I came 8 years ago, but I'd not been there with people who really cared about it and who it was really meaningful for, so that was really interesting. And then basically, we just had a really great day, and they then stayed in Jerusalem the second night. I went back to Tel Aviv. I went to work for the rest of the week, and they sort of took their car and drove off and went to Nazareth and Acco and Caesarea, and sort of did all like traveling around the north, and then came back to Tel Aviv for Thursday night, and I took them out to a bracelet bar with all the girls, and we had a great old time. So we had a rather hungover day today where we literally just sat on the beach and ate food. Now we're on the way to Jaffa, and we've got like just a chill couple of days doing a bit of Tel Aviv time. So yeah, it's been a really fun week. I mean, in the middle of all of this, I'm trying to pack because I'm moving next week, and then basically Simon and Caroline leave on Sunday, and then my parents arrive Sunday night, so I've got to move, and I'm going to have my family here. So it's a really chaotic time, but I'm having a great time, and I'm absolutely loving having visitors here, except the main thing is to remind me never to do the snake path of Masada again. I have done it 3 times. Any other visitors that want to come and go up Masada, they are welcome to walk. I am getting the cable car.